beautiful structure of this kind.
What has fascinated me for some time is constructing appealing, unnatural molecules with interesting properties and functions, like this one. This one is constructed of 12 laterally fused benzene rings, and although we have not made this one yet, we have, in fact, made this molecule here, which I've christened 12-cholerine. 12-cholerine has alternating benzene rings separated by methylene groups. We have not synthesized this molecule by linking the benzene rings together. Rather, we've used a more subtle way of synthesizing this type of compound. We employed a bis dienophile and a bis diene, which are rigid and curved in shape. The reaction that takes place, a well-known chemical reaction, the Diels-Alder reaction, could in principle take place in 4 different ways. 1, 2, 3, 4. But in practice, only one of these reactions occurs to give this product here, a 1-to-1 adduct, which then reacts with itself under also very tight stereo control to give this polymacrocycle. Now, I haven't made this molecule myself. This molecule was made in the laboratory by one of my research students, Franz Conker. And so I called it Conkine. After all, research supervisors are just as good as their students. Now, one of the interesting things about these hydrocarbons that can be made from Conkine is that they are rigid and have cavities, and so molecules like paraxylene will fit inside. Now, we've also been studying other molecules that have cavities, such as this macrocyclic polyether, where the polyether chains are separated by 2 benzene rings. This molecule will form a very good complex with another well-known compound, this one here, paraquat. When paraquat forms this complex by entering the middle of the cavity, we know that this has happened in solution because a transparent colorless solution of this salt mixed with a transparent colorless solution of the receptor molecule, they turn instantaneously orange. Now, having made that observation, the next thing we did was to design a molecule with potentially 2 paraquat units in it, and showed that it will self-assemble during its synthesis such that in the penultimate step, a bromine atom will be displaced during the reaction and a second paraquat unit formed such that the second ring encompasses the first ring, and we form a so-called 2-catenane very efficiently and in high yield. Now, the process that has been used here is one of molecular assembly. And this process we are now exploiting in many different directions. For example, to make this particular 2-catenane, in which the polyether ring is twice the size of that previously. The interesting property that this molecule has is that the small ring will move round the larger ring, visiting the benzene ring stations one after the other. Now, the final thing that we have achieved in this area recently is to separate the rings into polymeric chains that intertwine like a double helix. And we know that this is happening because in solution, if we take one polymer and mix it with another, and we lower the temperature, then the color of this solution becomes intense orange. And this tells us that the chains are intertwining around each other. And now I'm dreaming about making self-replicating systems that are wholly synthetic, that would have some of the character of DNA. And if this were possible, we would be able to store inside these synthetic double helices information and then to transfer it, the molecular computer.